T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
America's Space Shuttle program has been an icon of the cutting edge in space exploration for nearly 30 years now. And soon, this amazing spacecraft will give way to the next generation of space vehicles, the Constellation program. At this moment, thousands of engineers are working behind the scenes to make this happen. This is rocket science at its best. This is aerospace engineering.
Hi, I'm Patricia Moore. Today we're going to take a look at this exciting field and meet some of the amazing people who are building the aerospace vehicles of tomorrow. We're going to show you exactly what it takes to say why, as a matter of fact, I am a rocket scientist. But first, let's take a moment to talk a little bit about the aerospace industry. What is aerospace? Well, let's break it down. Aero means air or atmosphere.
In 1909, when the Wright brothers took flight, aeronautical engineering was born. After this event, major developments took place in the field, which at the time dealt mostly with aircrafts. The First World War saw not only tremendous expansion in aircraft production, but also tremendous development in aircraft technology. Originally developed for stability to account for inexperienced pilots, aircraft design would evolve to push the vehicle's agility as pilots began to execute complex maneuvers in dogfight situations. In 1920, the first School of Aeronautical Engineering would finally be established, 11 years after the first flight. With the onset of World War II, aeronautical engineering grew at an exponential rate. Along with the advances in flight came experiments with jet engines and even missile technology. Propulsion advancements would develop from propellers to turbojets to rockets. Then in 1958, everything changed. With the launch of Sputnik, engineers now had to consider how to operate a vehicle in the hazardous environment of space. This expanded the fields into aerospace. The U.S. and Soviet space race would prove to be fertile grounds for even more radical research and development in aerospace theory and technology.
In an industry where not even the sky is the limit, aerospace offers exciting and lucrative career opportunities to future engineers. So, how can you get involved? Well, the first step is to develop a passion for math and science. Math and science can be challenging subjects, but understanding them is empowering. With a solid background in these fields, you can go on to do amazing things like designing and building an eco-friendly aircraft to possibly walking on the surface of Mars. During our Aerospace Career Day here at Space Center Houston, we had an opportunity to meet and chat with some of the aerospace pioneers working in the field today.
I think the coolest part is knowing that something that I do will touch the stars someday. I guess I found myself in this position working out of college. I've had this passion for space sciences. I mean, even since I was a little kid, you know, I watched Star Trek and I always looked at the stars and just wanted to know what it was like to be there. And so one day I just decided, I'm like, why can't I?
I think all of us working for NASA in some way or the other, we all want to be up in the stars, because I can stare at the sky every night and I just find myself mesmerized and impressed with all the stuff that's waiting for us out there.
One of the coolest things about the work that I do is that it's really cool knowing that I am helping and playing a part of being able to make it possible for humans to go into space. So that is a very cool feeling. And it's also very cool because you get to work on equipment that's either going into space on the shuttle, or maybe it's going to stay up there on the space station, or they might be bringing it back down, and we get to work on it, make it better, and then we'll send it right back up.
The vehicle that was displayed in the inaugural parade this year, on that vehicle, some of our scientists and engineers that I recruited worked on that project that was displayed right in front of President Obama. So I was really proud of that.
One of the first projects I worked on was to build this. It's a torque multiplier. There were some stuck bolts on the space station and they were worried they would not be able to get them off, and they wouldn't be able to use the solar arrays if they couldn't. So we designed and built this tool. And then I got this picture of this tool in space being used by the astronauts. And there's nothing cooler than being able to watch TV and go, I built that and it's in space.
So the coolest part of my job is simply knowing that I'm making a difference. I am working hard to make the dreams of humanity become a reality. Essentially, taking these first steps in sort of the new frontier, so to speak, trying to get humans back onto the moon. And I think that, it's built into all of us the idea to want to explore and to gain knowledge. And what kind of knowledge is more profound than what you gain from, where you came from and where your solar system is and stuff. So I find that to be, the driving force in my life, and every day that I'm sitting there at my computer and working, and I never lose sight of the big picture. So.
My advice to students who would be interested in getting into a career in aerospace would be to definitely work hard on your math and science skills. I know that's what they all say, but it's true.
I remember when I was 8 years old, I started building model rockets and going to all of the space centers around the country. And I always found myself very interested in aerospace and, learning as much as possible, looking at pictures, looking at everything that inspires you. I think that inspiration is the one thing that connects us to the stars.
Don't be afraid of the hard work. You'll have to work hard, but you don't have to be a genius.
You're studying 3 o'clock in the morning, ready for exams, and you're like, why am I doing this? And you know what? When you get to the other side and you suck it out, you'll know why.
Keep going. It's, things that you really, really want, they're not going to really come to you easily, so just be persistent, stay encouraged, be confident, and know that you can do it.
Don't lose sight of the big picture. It's, every day is a small task, but towards a larger goal. And if you remember that, the hard work that you're doing now, the hard classes or the hard homework, dealing with all the challenges, be creative and don't forget that what you're doing is moving forward towards a larger goal.
Know that there's going to be hard times and don't be afraid of them. Just, persevere.
So where will you be in 15 years? Well, where do you want to be? How about pushing an experimental aircraft to the edge as a NASA test pilot? Or maybe you could be drafting the next generation of lunar vehicles. Or perhaps you could be the first person to set foot on Mars. A career in aerospace as a scientist or engineer requires 4 to 7 years of college study following high school. A bachelor's degree requiring 4 years is the minimum necessary to enter the field. 3 more years for a master's degree is even better.
By the time you complete your education and enter into the workforce, NASA will be preparing to return humans to the moon. You can choose to be a part of this adventure right now. And who knows, 10 years from now, students your age may be reading about your accomplishments in their history books.